Check. Yeah, what go on, my peeps? What is going? Check, 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 check. Can I hear me good, good, good? Me know if I hear me good, good, good. All right, Neil said loud and clear. From the boss said loud and clear. You know, say, well, it's loud and clear. See? What go on, CBS? All of my SDC people, them, you know, my NC people, them large up on yourself. Diva, what go down? You know, place, though. Hey, Diva, you there, dog. That's how the thing set, man. Large up yourself, man. See? Eh, Sonia, what go on, boo boo? Yeah, behave yourself. Hope you behave in Sonia, you know. Hope you behave, you know. So I go on there. So, yeah. Wait for some people come in. No, so yellow and thing, I couldn't know I'm forward and thing. Seeing I is our day here. And as usual, I know say Ghana nice, Africa nice. Back in a place, you know. Yeah, tired by the rock of a choke. We come back tired down. But it's all good. What go on, we don't know. What go on, we don't know. What go on, we don't know. Talk to me. My eyes are burning me. Why? Mm-hmm. I sleep. Me want to sleep already, you know. Mean some piece of ranger push it and it take a backfire in the long run. There's some signs of that. You know, there's a lot going on there, and he's banking on a reality that says that everybody needs America, but America don't need everybody, right? That him he's banking on, but things have changed, huh? Things have changed. Things have changed. You know, when a man there with a woman and him a spending money upon her, you know, and him a pay for everything. Then him just go in another zone there where him just see the whole relationship and the whole world away there. So it's all about him because him a pay the bills. And it's a good thing when a man a pay bills, nothing wrong with that. But if him start think, say, boy, you know, I pay the bills here, so me make all of the rules and them something there, whatever, and then start disrespect, you know, the woman and thing. After a while, it always backfire upon him. What I fear is that a lot of men who are in that position, when it backfire upon them, some of them get mad and angry and them start to the person ungrateful, but now think about how them a take the person for granted because them a pay the bills or whatever and I do as them like. And I go on with one bag of disrespect on the person till them just can't take it no more and them just cut off. But you have some other man, them just say, I'll kill the woman. Yeah. So if we follow the analogy there, the man here, him have a little thing about him, him he say must win for everything, and him fear losing, him all disrespect people when him think them lose in some really crazy way. My thing is that my fear is that this thing are going to reach a point where I'm going to do, and you see, through him need a fix there. You see, the way him set the thing what here, it's like him become the center of the world, and the whole world have to come to him and beg him. And him like that something there. And the whole world come to him and beg him and him come out and him say it what here. Him say, yo, everybody, all of the country, them a come kiss me ass. He said that, you know. But when you have a situation where the vice president, for example, I call China peasants, and then you're going to say China need to come negotiate and think China not going to come negotiate. China go hold it. Just out of pride and respect, even if them did want to negotiate and thing. When you do them arrogant something there, everybody a kiss your ass and who a peasant, you force people to say, yeah, show your market so wonderful. Again, the analogy with the man who pay all of the bills. So the United States consumer market is so big. You think so we can't do without the United States. All right, we're gonna find somewhere. So you force people now for just say, boy, yeah, your market nice, but it's not worth it. And I them way they like a woman with a money man or a top man will pay all of the bills and have money like that or whatever, but she just reach a point where it's not even about the money anymore. She can't take the disrespect or the suffering or certain little thing, and she take time, just take for herself. Till her friend them must say, my girl, you're an idiot. You know much woman would have want there with a man there and you left him your mother and whatever, and in her mind, she just, don't even understand. But she just not dead say anymore. And the same thing I go on. Remember, the United States and China are the two biggest economies. Where China and right. I guess annually China buy more than $2 billion worth of beef from the United States, Nebraska, especially up in Army. China said, we're done with that. Them buy billions more soybean, I think primarily from the state of Indiana. These are red states. China cut off that. China gonna start a contract with Australia with the beef thing or whatever. China electric vehicle, them surpass, Tesla now and thing. They must sell all over the world except the United States. If you follow what China do, other countries are going to do it in a long run, like what Neil said. And what it's going to mean is that increasingly it's going to impact the U.S. economy. Because again, America thinks we don't need everybody. Everybody need we. That is a methodology right now. But it force people to look elsewhere. So Canada said, yo, we're go over the EU, going to so and so. You see? them things are gonna affect the economy. No, my worry is if it backfire, what am I gonna do? If you see what am I do with Harvard right, you know, him nah Lego, him nah Lego, I find every which way to go at Harvard University, who said, nah, we nah do that something the way you want we do. Like, monitor students, spy on them and give you list and name and what them are saying, whatever, which is so that's those are ingredients of an authoritarian state indeed. So Harvard said no, and they make sure so them punish Harvard because them want to set an example. If you can beat Harvard, if you can control Harvard and make Harvard come around, you can control all the academia. So him not leg or nothing, me just take it right to the hilt. So will it backfire? Yeah, and it can backfire because the world right now, people travel all about, right? People that do business all about. One time gone, it was all about America, Canada, and the United Kingdom. No, people that travel all about. People the world over there. People that go Vietnam, Thailand, South Africa. People that travel, man. People that travel. It's like the world nations are relate to other nations and not do business with other nations and whatever. So, America, if America keep thinking it's in the center of the universe and everybody need America, that is kind of changing. And I'm in the travel industry and thing, and people feel yo, Jamaicans who have vacation in a Croatia, and them country that the people them are going, yeah, them have a thing now about visa nomads now, like countries have all these programs where you can go live in a them country and work remotely there, or them have all these attractive retirement options now where your money stretch farther. Malta, a lot of people are retiring in Malta of all places, and think people feel comfortable. I go to UAE now, even though it's an Arab. Them a go over there go work at Dubai, and people are travel, man. People are all boat, what. Yo, Thailand full of people. Jamaicans full of people. I talk about Jamaican. I don't know Jamaica. People that travel all boat. People there Kenya. Me there Kenya. And as me land at Kenya, I say, you Jamaican? Yeah. You know Nikki Z? Me say, yeah, I know Nikki Z. She's here in Kenya. She's in Mombasa. People there all boat. It's not, that thing that we're America, the center, everything or whatever. And everybody, you can't do it without America. Can't have nowhere else to go. That not really. The people are traveling to South America, Brazil for a long time. You understand? But Peru, them place the people are traveling. You understand? So when you force people now, that thing they say Tony and make fashion and whatever. Sometimes all people think say them can't do something, and them no, they may think like, so where else me I go go? But then when you force them now, them find a way to make it work without you who are trying to force them to depend upon you. And that is just my thesis on it. That yeah, there was a time when the global economy was such that yeah, the United States have the biggest economy in the world. Then comes China. But there was a time when business was such that, if you don't sell to that lucrative American market, then well, it's gonna go for really make a money. And America is still powerful in that regard right now. But if you force people on, you're gonna see some different things are going on there. Say, yes, I work remotely, but I can't keep moving my son around. That's why I didn't take up some of the work benefit packages in other countries. Yeah. Southeast Asia is booming right now. When I say booming, I'm not talking about just Thailand. I'm talking about Thailand, Vietnam, Malaysia, right? There's a lot going on over there. And then, I forgot them people doing stuff in the Philippines too, right? Japan was always on the map and thing like that. That's not Southeast Asia, that's Asia, I think. But even China, a lot of people are going to China. You talk about, China's centralized government and all them things there, whatever. But, you know, China is pretty advanced in terms of infrastructure and whatever. China's technology has surpassed the United States right now. And yep, yeah. Japan is looking good. South Korea is looking good, right? African nation. A lot of people going to Uganda, Ghana, Nigeria, even a country like the Gambia. The people, a whole bunch of Jamaicans relocated to the Gambia. The country is actually called the Gambia, yeah. Right? The people are there. Kenya, Tanzania, South Africa, right? Even in Namibia, you know. Um, what's it name near when I stayed I called Victoria Falls? Um, country there where them have well, them did have the war between the Hutus and the Tutsis and the massacre. Yeah. So, this thing where the United States is basically leveraging its political power and its market share thing there, you know, still powerful, but the question is, can countries do without the United States? That is increasingly the case. Some people are arguing that we're actually in the midst of a dying dynasty in the United States. And we're just left to see what's going to happen. People, we're not even 3 months into this thing yet, don't with Barcelona, and the world is like, upheaval and whatever. And again, that's the thing I worry about, because I don't know if you know those people who you have some people that they can't stay calm. They can't be in a relationship and just be calm and just appreciate peace and calm, right? They can't do that. Them always, whenever things calm or whatever, them always stir up something and start a war or whatever. And you have people who function in relationships like that. They're always arguing. Them argue and make up, but that is the staple in the relationship. They're just nonstop. And sometimes you have couples, they meet each other and they're both like that and it works. And their friends are like, just no, say I saw them steer. I went with like a stranger come or somebody new come around, and I'll be like, they're at each other's throats. If they're at each other's throats like that, why don't they just leave? And then those who know said, leave it alone. Leave them alone. You soon see them love it over. Because you have some people that just live off that energy. My fear is that we have a variation of that here, where a certain man, if some drama and excitement now go on, him just get antsy, him just feel like nothing is being done. People are not seeing me. They need, like I need to be in the center of a thing. And they cultivate negative attention. They cultivate negative attention because they thrive on conflict. Conflict gives them validity, right? there is capital and currency to extract from conflict, right? Because the, the, the goal for them is not resolution and peace and quiet and stability. The goal for them is conflict because that is when they flex. That is when they flex and that is when they get attention. And some of that is going on here. And honestly, my fear is from what I've observed over years, people like that who, you know, you catch them in certain position when they start losing, they don't face it. They don't accept it. And when they don't, they will go for broke. Go for broke. That's a phrase meaning they just they have all this thing to prove. And if they sit out there losing, they experience anxiety attacks and they wonder what people are going to think. And they think they're going to be shamed and whatever. And they get desperate in order to retain, to recapture what they conclude to be that they were in control or they were in a superior position or whatever. And then they do extreme stuff. That me afraid, I know. I am genuinely afraid of that. Because that would mean war. Yeah. And part of what's going on here for me, this is personal, but I'm a parent, right? I'm a parent of young kids. So I won't say everything, but I'm looking down the road and like I said to you guys, some of you are looking at these things separate. They're not separate. You're seeing the implementation of a program called Project 2025. And all these things that you see going on that look separate, they're not separate. Not only they're not separate, they're not ends in and of themselves. They are merely preliminary steps towards a particular end that will change the face of this country, like totally change the face of this country. Like this place would be a very different place. The first woman to drive a Thunderbird plane, they removed recognition of her from their. Going out too much, but you can check it out. What happened to the first woman to drive a Thunderbird? And they're using this thing to say, it have nothing to do with woke, but nothing to do with woke is used as a way to remove certain types of people. So if that is happening now, and we have a minimum of 4 years to go, what's the end game here? So there's two things that are put on the forefront when certain decisions are made. We have to eliminate woke and we're getting rid of criminals. And then behind that, certain moves are made where people see what's going on now. The US citizens, man, are being detained, right? See a man come out and say, yep, we're moving ahead with the denaturalization program. January, February, March. We're not, yeah, we're just about approaching 3 months. Denaturalization program, okay? And the president of El Salvador came recently. And in a press conference, the statement was made like, yeah, we need to send a homegrown code for citizen, homegrown people down to El Salvador too. The hot mic caught, Miss Suchman. I said I needed to build 5 more of these prisons. Somebody recently said, remember Auschwitz, which is the terrible, terrible concentration camp, like perhaps like the central concentration camp in which all the Jews were killed, burned in ovens, like put in ovens and just burned to death. You know, somebody made a point that Auschwitz is in Poland. It wasn't in Germany, but Germany was doing it, but they were doing it in Poland. So he's creating a parallel here and saying, you know, El Salvador, USA, And I'm saying these are preliminary steps towards a massive realignment. These are the steps taking towards it. And then the question is, what will that end look like? What would that realignment look like? What will the final stage of that end look like? What will it mean for certain groups of people? What will it mean for women? If you're actively saying now, openly, that yes, we're going ahead with the denaturalization, like they take away your citizenship, no one is safe. No one is safe because he said homegrown. That means you're born here. So if the people who were born here, consideration is given to removing them out or whatever, right? Then naturally, the ones who are citizens, but they're naturalized, they weren't born here, they're going to be of a lesser priority. You understand? So that is the intention. That is the goal. So what would the final stage look like? What would it mean for certain groups of people? And, and I think that as it going on now, there are people who support certain things. Those people, they all support it in a sense where it's not going to happen to me. Again, the people who are support certain things, you see what's going on. They all believe like, yeah, it's gonna done, but it's not going to happen to me until it happens to them. And we see certain groups of people, they have had a rude awakening who support certain things, but thought that, oh, it's never going to happen to me. So if it's happening to people who thought that it would never happen to them, a logical extension of that, then it can happen to people. If it happened to people who support them, then it must can happen to people who never support them, right? Because right now they're saying that we want you to be on the same page as us, right? So you see where that is going. This freedom of speech thing, that is going out the door. There ain't about no freedom of speech. You do what we tell you for do. Cause we take over this thing, right? See the leader of the house and whatever him said, let me be careful. But essentially saying no, there shouldn't be any adherence to the Constitution. He said that. Given the necessity for higher priorities for the country. He said that. So remember, the Constitution was the absolute. The idea is that the United States is a country where the rule of law is the most important thing. And the law of all laws, where all laws are subsumed under, is the Constitution. And we're regularly hearing language now that essentially says, hey, listen, you know, if we ever put the Constitution aside in order to pursue certain objectives that we consider to be important, where we want to pursue right now and achieve, then so be it. Mr. G, Raga, lots of Canadians who have homes in Florida and Atlanta are contemplating selling there, but it's not contemplating. The sale has already started. It's been started, right? It's going on. It been going on. Canadians, yeah, this thing is united people. The Canadian Conservative Party at one point was leading the Liberal Party, Justin Trudeau's party before he resigned, was leading them by like 20 something points. People, a lead of 20 something points. For those of you familiar with you know, election polling, that's like, if that 20 something points come out in the election, that's a landslide. That's a mandate right there. That's saying that the party that was in power, you lost by 20 something percentage point. You're slammed, It's like it would be a powerful statement to be like, you have made yourself so irrelevant right now. It is a I wouldn't say a revolution, but it's a powerful political statement there. And then since such man go say we want turn Canada in a state, and because that party now we are lead by 20 something points, right? Because Justin Trudeau been messing up with a whole bunch of stuff, even with immigration and housing and a whole bunch of stuff, right? So the people were just like against Trudeau and whatever, and the Conservative Party are lead by 20 something points. And because such man go say man turn Canada in our state, and that Conservative Party is more politically aligned with such man, the 20% lead where the conservative have them have just wipe out. And of course, Trudeau resigned, which was a brilliant strategic move. And a new leader there, and this new leader, he's calm, he's composed, he's resolute, he's stoic, and he's a smart man. And now that party is leading. The party is leading. The party that was down 20 odd points is now leading the Liberal Party, Starmer. Um, um, Not because of the party itself, but because Canadians have just come together in a way I've never, in my lifetime, I've never seen Canadians come together like this. I have never seen Canadians unify this way. And they have just come together and they're just like, we ain't supporting no party that's aligned with this man who want to come turn me in our state and them something there, whatever. And then by default, them just go back to the Liberal Party. And then the Liberal Party have a new leader who he speaks with, or he's commanding, he has a presence, and he doesn't come over as if he's easily flappable or anything like that, and he's coming over like he's in charge, and he's all about, protecting and defending the homeland, Canada, in this way or whatever. But Yeah, I've never seen Canadians disunited before, in my lifetime. I've never seen it. So that type of thing is playing out there. It's playing out there. Look what Ibrahim Traore is doing in Burkina Faso in Africa. But doing it in a way, just doing great things for that country, like amazing things. He is putting other leaders to shame, right? And what their alliance now is called the Sahel, alliance, Burkina Faso, Niger, and Chad, right? Niger, some people pronounce it Niger, right? And then there have been some overtures and some entreaties extended to him by the West. And, the leader, Ibrahim Traore, Captain Ibrahim Traore, he has been like, no. And what is he doing by default? He's dealing with Russia. So when you behave certain way, people, it can reach a point where I'm on hungry, but because, oh, yeah, disrespect him and treat him and whatever, even if you would have take shame face and take your food, but you go so far, I just say, yo, people reach a point, man. People can reach a point, they're like, me no business. I don't mean dead for hunger, me not take nothing from me. I don't want to chat to you. Me not, yeah, it's like, nah, you diss me to a point, right? I'm just using micro examples in that parallels what is happening on a macro level right now. And that's what a lot of nations are doing. I mean, some nations have gone and begged, like, the goal was to have them do, because they're just desperate and thing. But there are other nations out there, like, phones are buzzing, new alliances are forming and thing. And yeah, yeah. How this thing is gonna play out, I don't know, because you know but again, we're in for a rough ride for the next 4 years because, like I said, that a part of the MO of certain people is that there must be drama. The validation comes through the drama because the drama is the stage to perform their self-perception. So the way such man see himself, he needs that stage to flex, to be seen, for the attention to come to him. And all I'm saying is, yeah, that's all fine and wonderful if it's just flexing. But these things have a way of, once you have a certain climate established where everything is volatile and the tensions are high and so forth, like, it can just spill over into something crazy. Wait, do we have a fight here going on in the chat? Uh, What is Richie, bro? You have to educate yourself better. Wait, wanna kuwara go on, sir? Looking in the chat. Uh, wait, Richie said, educate yourself. Now watch me. And then Delight wants, Richie, US dollar has lost 5% of its value over the past month. Richie, there's nothing about you worth watching. Damn. I what Richie saying response. Mount that time you type my name and I'll know me no type feel. Me no see you. Go watch your mama. We a big word of the chat, man. Ah, Jesus. Delight one. Richie, you can barely speak or write properly. Ooh, damn. Yeah, yeah, na the big Good Friday, yeah. Is Raga still on Irish and chin? No, I'm not. Um, uh, Richie says, Sonia, I cause a Raga why me I go ignore certain pestilence where I crawl both over. Yo, Richie says, Sonia, I cause a Raga why me I go ignore certain pestilence where I crawl both over here. Delight one. So you cannot debate with logic. I will ignore you too because you speak without facts. Sonia said, Richie, ignore them, my friend. Them don't know how Tam Farm run. Them one piece of work there, man. The delight one say, I'll leave Tam Farm and be on my way because it appears like facts aren't welcome. Um, Delight one. Um, all right, Delight one say peace. Oh, mm, Trump is following a Nazi agenda. If one were to read Mein Kampf or the Third Reich, one would understand what is happening. Sadly, is in one wasn't giving birth night before the so-called minorities having more babies than them. That is true. If you Delight 1 year new, but I've been harping on that. My time farmers can tell you I've been harping on that. That's a big thing here. See how something come out recently with what we know that Elon Musk is thing, 14 children by something like must have 6 or 7 or 8 women, that he has this thing where white people are threatened and he want more white people to have children. And the report says he might have several more children that Elon Musk might have several more children that hasn't been revealed yet. So that is definitely an element out there, and that is this anti-abortion movement for them. That is what it's about. Um, Delight, when white women aren't breeding like before and check. Oh yeah, man, I've been all over that over here. I've been all over that, like for the last 2 years actually. Uh, Sham said $500,000 homes in Florida have dropped down to 200,000. The- That's one of the things that, and I'm going to say something, but I'm going to use, let me tell you something about that place you do, Why such man have to be careful, because you see how certain people just ignore him and make him do what he might do. Boy, that man they do something when like Obama, right? Obama said any him did even do one or two of the things them a such man do or whatever. Obama said, oh, when they done with him, they would have moved to him, and it's true. But let me tell you a thing. If it's one thing with some people over here, I mean I'm in another country. Don't F with them money. Yeah. When you when you mess with them money, man, them and them sister this thing and not change, And you keep on and mess with them money and you keep on and do so. And it not pan out for them money. Mm. And people are, them not too wonderful when you mess with them money. I'll just say that much and leave it right there, so. Whoever you be, them not like that's something there. Somebody said we need a leader like him in Jamaica. Spanish thought. I remember people election due this year to Jamaica, due by September. So it gonna run sometime in the summer after school close. Yeah, watch and see. Um oh people. Yeah, Richard, and people here, them will tolerate and just turn a blind eye and make you go on with where you're going. As long as them say, nah, affect me, make him do him one, do fling them out of the country, way. But America is all about the money. It's power and money, right? Political is about power. Economy is about the money, wealth building thing, right? They go hand in hand in a capitalist economy, right? People with money, them get access to power. People with power get access to money. So if I say a whole heap of people going on politics, because when them going on politics, them get power in them position. When them have power, the people that with money need to come talk to them to get a subsidy on this, if you get a break on this, to get permission for this, to make a law will support this. So them will take care of the people them over here. So the people them in a politics, they make money. And the people them with money, they get power, right? Political economy. Don't mess with them people and money. Them not too wonderful, and they will find a way to remove the root cause of them losing money. Them not too like that something then. Yeah, but with some interesting things coming on board, the Supreme Court has granted cert. It's a thing in law, certiorari, to the whole citizenship issue. So they're going to visit this thing where Rangy said birthright citizenship needs to be eliminated. There are a lot of people saying that they don't think that, that will succeed. I think that is a mistake people are making to say that, and they keep underestimating this man. I have learned my lesson in that regard, and I no longer underestimate him. There is nothing that man would, there's very few things that man could say right now that you're going to hear me immediately say, oh, that will never happen. Why? There have been several things. that I would come up with, and I had said, "Ah, that will never happen," and I was proven wrong. And we're in a climate now where people have to accept that things are changing. There's an appetite out there for revolutionary change in some regard, and it's not just an impetus from conservatives or Republicans. Some of it is a Democrat's fault too. Some of it is a Democrat for a lot of it is a Democrat's fault too. Why some people turn away from them, with a bunch of things, right? There's a bunch of things going on the Democratic side that is, some people just are just frightened by it and find it crazy, and they 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 don't understand what's going on. So the Democrats, like to say, Orange is throwing the country in chaos and disorder and whatever. Yeah, Orange is doing that. But Democrats are not seeing the way that they did that too. You did that too, right? When you are going to punish parents who said them want call them son and them daughter, you're gonna punish the parents. That you're getting in a root level existential issue there, issues there where you put people in a position where yo, it's not even about the money. Are you serious? This is my family, so Democrats are to be blamed for some of what's going on here. So there's a lot of craziness going on the Democratic side, but whatever. So it's not a one-sided thing, you know. But the Supreme Court, so to say that it's enshrined in the Constitution, birthright citizenship is enshrined in the Constitution and it's untouchable. I'm not going to say that it cannot be eliminated, that the Supreme Court can eliminate it, won't eliminate it. There's a good chance that it will be. And it has to do with that clause. There's language in that clause, in the birthright citizenship clause, that said the jurisdiction of. And I think that is where this matter is going to turn. When, in the language in the Constitution that gives right, to citizenship to anybody who was born in the United States, there's language that said the jurisdiction of. And I think that is where we may have some, it could change, right? Remember, look at the Supreme Court. We have three liberal judges who vote predictably: Sotomayor, Ketanji Brown Jackson, KBJ, and Kagan, right? So those are three votes. And then you have six conservative votes. Of those six conservative votes, four are, they predictably vote for Trump. They vote for a Republican agenda, right? So the Republicans have a 6-3 majority in the Supreme Court. And of that six, the most predictable vote, right? That, anything Trump go, that person you have a vote is Clarence Thomas, right? Lock and seal. Right behind Clarence Thomas is Justice Alito. Lock and seal. Then you have Justice Gorsuch and Justice Kavanaugh, who on occasion they may diverge and think, but for the most part, them lock and seal. So them four man they lock and seal. The two conservative judges who have proven themselves, at times to say, yeah, I might go differently, right? Is Justice Amy Coney Barrett and Chief Justice Roberts, right? Those are the two to watch. Now, somebody like Kavanaugh, yeah, he might go the route the two and say, no, it's constitutionally sound or whatever. Um, all six of them may vote. I say no, it's a constitutional right that from your born in the United States, you're guaranteed citizenship. All six of them, conservative judges may say that. But the point I want to make is that don't say, oh, it's in the Constitution, so it can't change, right? We've seen where they have changed 50, almost 50-year precedent that was considered settled law, right? With Roe and things like that. So it can change, right? We are in a very different dispensation, right? And you have to understand, they may give you the impression that they are neutral and that they're just going to go by the language in the law, but such is not the case, right? We're in a context where those people believe that they're losing their country, right? They believe that we're living in desperate times, and desperate times require, strong, authoritative, firm measures, to stamp out all these elements that are changing the character and the appearance of the country. This is a fundamental existential issue. Existential meaning exist. The first two syllables of that word, exist. It's hard for people to understand. They believe they're losing their country and that they will cease to exist. And in that climate, the justices, there may be justices who will say, yo, this is big, man. We have to save the country, right? And they may eliminate birthright citizenship. Now, if they eliminate birthright citizenship, that by itself would cause a big uproar. But again, somebody like me, what I'll say to you is, if they do that, it will not only be about birthright citizenship. If you see how such man work, because the way how such man work is, you give him a little room and him gonna run with it gone over so, right? If you give him a little room, him gonna say, no, that little room there was a mandate for me to do 10 million other things, really, and him gonna use a little room there. So if they overturn birthright citizenship, know that you're going to have people say, see it there? The Supreme Court I tell us a certain people not for there. So we have a right to get rid of certain people. So even if the Supreme Court I say, boom, we are gonna rule upon this thing here. So. And the way the Supreme Court have been ruling with stuff related to him, them just go just so far without stating anything definitive and then leave room for him run with it. Like the Supreme Court, for example, with the immunity thing, the Supreme Court come out and said, no, the president is immune from any prosecution if the president is engaged in an official act. Now, for a reasoned mind, they will say, okay, that gives me some latitude. And then I have to make sure that this only applies to official act. So I'm not going to go outside of those borders and go do any. That don't work with such man. When such man hear that, all his acts are official. I saw him see, right? So apply that type of thinking now to the birthright thing. And if them say, nah, if the Supreme Court go say, nah, you're not entitled to citizenship, just because you're born, yeah. There's room there for such man and certain people in administration, Mr. Miller, for example, right? For say, yeah, you see it. Now, because you have citizenship, that means you're guaranteed certain rights. And that the Supreme Court said, the Supreme Court never said that to them, because I said the Supreme Court are gonna leave room for them to say that, right? So yeah, some interesting things are gonna come forward probably later on down. Yeah, enough for watch a case there. They're going to they're supposed to rule on it next month in May. And again, it's going to be jurisdiction off. Now, let me be fair. Such man say, with regards to birthright citizenship, people that take America for idiot and them a punk out America and them abuse the thing and whatever. There is room there for to make an argument that he's right. Remember, I'm not a zero-sum thinker. I'm not one of them thinker like, oh, me a diehard PNP or me a diehard Labour right. Anything the Labour, me a diehard PNP. Anything the Labour right them do wrong, or anything PNP do them right. Or me a diehard Labour right. Anything PNP do wrong, and the same thing with the Democrats and the Republicans. I'm not that, right? There are things about the Republican Party and whatever that I agree with. There are things about that man there about Ringy that I said, he's right. And with this birthright citizenship thing, he's right. There's a whole heap of countries out there that don't have birthright citizenship. If you look on the map, right? Um, it's really weird, actually. It's weird. If you look on the map of the countries that have birthright citizenship, if you're born the automatic citizenship, it's like they're in North and South America. But then when you go over Africa and Asia and whatever, like it's like non-existent over there, even in Europe, even in Western Europe, some of the allies, US allies, right? So and people talk the truth, you may not like Trump or whatever, but he's right that America is targeted for that. Like people come here and just have baby, get citizenship and gone. Right? And he's right to say, that's not what we intended for our citizenship to be. People shouldn't be able to so easily do this thing here and then get certain benefits as American citizens. So if you can't see where, as a leader of a country, and given where them I got through now about people who are coming in and I take over them country or whatever, if you can't see where there is some credibility in their arguments there, then you're not reasoning as maturely as you should. Me not fight against nobody who I do it, but just I say, if you put yourself on for them side and talk it through to God love, America is heavily targeted that way. Even in our little community and thing, the amount of people just come up here and make pit the barn up here and thing and whatever, and them not stay here, whatever, with the pit them and carry them gone back or whatever, or you know, even if them not carry them back, them come up and make sure they pit the barn and because boom, 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 and them use that as a gateway. See that the UK don't have it, right? Right? The UK not have it. Let me show. Wait a sec. Let me see something. Map of no, world map of countries with birthright. I type slow. Birthright citizenship. Okay. Birthright citizenship map. Let me see if it's here. Oh, okay. Let me see if I can show this to you. Video capture tool, window capture. If I put that on, which window? Come on. Nope, that one didn't work. Let me see. Just give me a second. I just want to show you this. Display capture, game capture, media source. No, I want window capture. Come on. All right, let me see now. Window capture tool. Okay, select a window to capture. Let's try this. Oh, now, oh, this thing to be. All right, let me make this a little smaller. Oh, that one I move. All right, bring this over. So, all right, yeah, yeah. How do I get this thing off now? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, and then let me just pull it over here. So, let me see if it goes so. Uh, all right, bring this down. All right, I'm gonna come out of the way over here. So now, okay, here we go. Let me. All right, check this out. All right, so you're looking at this map, right? Whatever you see in pink, you see the key at the bottom. Pink is unconditional birth. Blue is a parental status, right? And then but you see the brown on your right, all right? The brown, it's no birthright citizenship, right? I have some variation, but look where it says unconditional at birth. That means from your born there, you get it. It's all over in the Americas, Canada, the United States, Mexico, right? With the exception of it in South America, it's pretty much the same, with the exception of Chile and Colombia, and there's a little brown one up here. And thing, let me see if I could bring this key over. No, it can't. All right, I wanted to bring this a look. Oh, can I do that? Let me see. All right. So on the seat, right? On the see all of the brown over here, so right. Well, that brown is a little bit that all that brown is a little bit white name there, it's a little bit because those are huge countries, right? But you're looking at over here is China, Russia, and those countries and things like that. All right. And then you have the blue is the parental status and that type of orange looking thing, age and residency of the child. That little light green one is parental status or age residency of child. And then the yellow is a combination of parental status. But anyway, so they have all these variables. You see all the pink over here, right? That just means if you're born there, you get it, right? You look over in Africa, there are only two countries of the 54 countries in Africa. There are only two countries over there where there's birthright citizenship. Only two. You go over in Asia, and we're seeing only one, right? You go up to Europe, there is no pink up there in Western Europe. All those France, the UK, Italy, Switzerland, Sweden, and all those countries up there, no pink, no up there. No pink, no up there, right? No pink, no up there, right? So what may I say is you could cuss Ringy as much as you want, but if you're being fair, then you can't really knock him. You can't knock him this and thing for say boy, the thing get out of hand and his argument and the argument of others has been Look how many countries not have this thing. Is a reason why them don't have it. So why America for have it and America is targeted like that? So there's some people that chat about, oh, it's racism and thing. Also, it's racism too. That's pretty much all 54 African countries over there and only two or whatever. That's racism too. What's going on there? Well, that would be the counter argument from them. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, he's right about, you know, America being targeted in that regard. My problem with it is that they have no problem with the white people who target America in that regard. It's the non-white people they have a problem with. No, that is racist, though. That is racist. They don't have a problem with people from certain white majority countries come here and have babies here and whatever. They ain't a problem with it. It's the people that move on white who come here and have babies. They have a problem with that. That have a problem. No, that is racist. I think so. Some interesting times are ahead, and there are people who voted for him for radical and revolutionary change, and he he's intentional in his choices and his decisions in order to realize to make those changes come to fruition, and it is his goal, to not only change the United States of America, but to change the global order, that will involve some form of ascendancy for him, in terms of being acknowledged and being revered in some regard as a great person, that's the space that he's in right now. Um, how that will play out, what that will mean for everybody and some people from certain groups, again, it doesn't look good for some people from certain groups based on their priority. You want an indication of what's going on here? Look at the black people, particularly the black men who were speaking up for this man, were just so loud and proud and bold for it. None of them not get nothing, The one that move the loudest, one little one in get something in health and human services, who we never really even know him, who he was and whatever. But him is him tight with a certain person, so him get a blighter. But in terms of the loud politician, them who did loud fame, man, loud fame or whatever, them not get one fart. They don't get nothing, right? There's about There's about six prominent one that have a national presence, but the one who spoke up for him was a good 30 odd. It's just that one of don't, some of them not that popular on the national stage. But yeah, them did rule out for such man. And sitting and they don't get nothing because they're not a part of the priorities here. The objective here is that we need to take with power from them type of people, and we can't trust them. Got them out to take over, so we can't trust them. We not boss them. Yeah, and what boss mean in our Jamaican language and thing, right? Yeah. Um, Canada might run back to the US deal if them go to war. See, even that I don't know, because such man has made it clear that his desire is to weaken NATO, right? And people have been speculating that has to do with his alliance with the other man there who involved in a war with the nation there and whatever and thing like that. So assume, well, don't assume. We have seen where the European Union, they have started making some adjustment to roll on their own, right? And they're led by the new Prime Minister of Britain, and then Emmanuel Macron, and also Germany. But they are now assuming that the United States won't have their back, even though Article 5 in the NATO Constitution says that you touch one, you touch the other, right? But the reality there, that has changed, because you see what's going on with Viktor Orban over in Romania. He's pretty much not with them. Um, and such man has set a tone in a NATO right now where that type of unity, that united voice where you're supposed to speak with, that not really, did it. It might set a tone where individual countries can say what they want to say and do as them like, which is not what it's supposed to be about with the whole purpose of NATO, which Putin would just love that, if NATO just falls apart. But those European countries, they are now assuming that, hey, America not gonna have our back, so we could figure out this thing ourselves. Well, that is that. 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 Let me see what I go on here. So, uh, no, Japan don't do it. I have a lot of my former students who are over in Japan, you know, and them have picked me over there. They went over there to teach English as a second language. Former students from the University of the West Indies. And they've been over there for years, some 10, 15 years. And well, well, probably, yeah, around, yeah. And they have children, and their children don't have citizenship. In 2015, I went to Ethiopia just to go down to Sashamani and to see our Jamaicans that are down there with our other Caribbean nationals who were repatriated on the land given to them by His Imperial Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie. And I was, somewhat surprised to see, the Jamaicans who have gone over there, they have two generations after them. So they have grandchildren, they have children and grandchildren. These are Jamaicans, who repatriated to Ethiopia, right? And them have children. The children are, 20 odd and 30 odd and whatever. And those children have children and whatever. None of those children, when I was there in 2015, none of them were Ethiopian citizens. So I was like, Desmond, what are they? They're like, they're Jamaicans. What do you mean? Well, they have to be something, and it's me, and I'm Jamaican, so but they've never even seen Jamaica. Would they don't know about Jamaica? What you tell them about Jamaica and whatever and thing like that. Them born and grow in Ethiopia and thing. Them have picked in Ethiopia, married in Ethiopia, pay tax in it. And them other citizens, them said nope. And them can't get citizenship. No, them couldn't get it. Right? So I'm just making a point that there are a lot of other countries that do this thing. All right. Canada put on them foot to do it. Canada firm up now to a certain way. This thing across Canada. And a lot of Canadians are like, yeah, I'm kind of glad we not do it. Even though the ones I talk to, they're glad it's being done because of all these concerns they have with the Punjab people, the Indians, and things like that. But apparently people are welcoming Canada, locking down their immigration um, avenues, but Weirdly enough, Canada still need people in certain parts of Canada, but that's another story. So Canada is still more appealing for people to come to be citizens or residents and to work in certain parts, but them locking down like the student thing, to go into like the Toronto metropolitan area all the way over to Montreal, where something like 90% of all Canadians live anyway, just in that little stretch there, you know, and then the border down near to the US border they come across or whatever. That's where most Canadians live anyway. So it's interesting when I talk to Canadians who are saying, yeah, man, Canada need to shut down because them people are coming and are going to be a problem them again or whatever. But then they say, yo, so what a man they are going, with Donald Trump are going with the immigration thing, it's not right. They might keep out certain people and it racist, I think. But my Canadian colleagues and friends who basically they're saying something similar to what Donald Trump is saying. They're saying it for Canada, but they don't say it where them I say similar to what Trump was saying. So Trump is a bad guy, but them not a bad guy. But them I said the same thing too. We need to keep out certain people, man. Them coming and take over Canada. And I be a bad, I wanna like them and all them. So yo, things are getting crazy out there, crazy out there, crazy out there. Well, and okay. Um um okay. All right. Anybody have any phone call when I can't call in? Anybody have anything for share right now? I think. Give me a call, yeah. I'm back from Africa, obviously. And I had an awesome time over there. I love Ghana. Yo, I would live in Ghana. Manala, I would live in Ghana. Like I would live there. Yeah, I love Ghana. If me never have young people over here, I wouldn't have any problem being based in Ghana. It's just that much of what I do is I have to kind of be near an airport, because I move around a lot. But I love Ghana. I love Africa. I don't love all the parts of Africa. There's some parts of Africa that I don't care for that much, to be honest. Um, Particularly the northern parts, where them not really they have been absolutely awful to black people up there, like awful, murderous, and with just terribly, terribly cruel to black people in Arab Africa. And this has been going on for years, 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 brutally killing, slaving, beating black people. And people remember, Arab Africa, they too slaved black people just like the Europeans did. And in some way, their thing, scholars are saying in some way theirs are worse because they were really into castrating sub-Saharan Africa. Remember, sub-Saharan Africa means sub, mean below, as in submarine, subsume, under, below. So the nations below Africa, those are the black majority nation, I think, and the Northern African countries and thing. They very often are racist against Black Africa in that sense. And so for many Black people who are educated on this thing, when they hear what's going on in certain parts of the Mid East, and they're saying, "Look at the cruelty going on there, and whatever we need. Why people not help us speak out?" And then, so for some of us who are educated on this, we're like, "Yeah, so why aren't you speaking out in what you're doing to Black people up there?" So it's a crazy world that we're in, and we just have to make do and laugh, see them way and cut and go through, right? It cut and go through. And and while I wait to see if anybody going call with anything right now. The numbers are there. And oh Lord, I'm assuming they're gonna work. I went to Africa and there's some tweaking I had to do with, the phone lines, but we'll see if somebody call in and test it. All right. I was in a food establishment and a man said to me, he's Jamaican, said to me, Raga, things that we're supposed to get past this thing about, you know, people, if some people are wear the other sex underwear, say them gay, like something wrong with them. See them people are dunce. He used the term dunce. Now, when it was said to me, I was immediately cautious because we live in a time now where you have to be careful who you talk to because people are tape and a record you or somebody have video you or whatever. So when him say it to me or whatever, me no, me kind of, me kind of like, I remember when the person I say, and then him use the word dunce, with people who are wear the other gender underwear. So my thing is when them something happen, me always try to draw the person more for them talk some more. And my regular thing is me have a line, what you mean? Right? And I don't used to me, whatever. But I for the year me I tell back something. When I go hear me always I say that. Say if someone come me, I say, what you mean? Me don't understand what you mean, what you mean. Some do me look at things, what you mean? But me, him say, we forget past this thing, yeah. But if people wear underwear from the other gender, like people that gonna say them gay, I said, I say, what you need. I think there's more you need for say because me don't understand how duns come in and whatever because me don't understand that part. The man said, you see, me know you that condone them thing there. I say, condone what me a condone? Me tell you, say, me not understand what you say. You say, what about me when me say you not understand? Me say, if people are wear underwear from the other gender from when them come from, like people forget past or something there because they are dunce, them dunce. Someone say, explain the dunce part to me. Him say, don't woman wear man underwear all the while. Me say, yeah. I say, yeah, and I kind of see sexy too. A woman come and she put on all the boxes and roll up the top and all something there. And him say, but you don't think the same way if a man wear a woman underwear. I say, no, 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 I'm gonna be honest with you still. So you see what that not intelligent, you accept it on one side, but you not accept it on the other side. I say, well, if you are saying just in the strictest sense that if you ever believe, say, the act of a person from a gender wearing underwear from the other gender, if you ever say there is some inconsistency there, if you accept it from one gender but you don't accept it from the other gender, then I'll agree with you. There is some inconsistency there. But I'm saying inconsistency doesn't necessarily mean that you should have consistency, right? In other words, some inconsistencies are understandable, right? Because I think you are now trying to put inconsistency in a permanently negative context for this issue here where you raise, right? And I'm saying, objectively speaking, some inconsistencies, I am fine with it. There are some things that I as a man would do where me not really want woman do them something they are my woman or woman run. Me not gonna make them do certain things. Do we have a problem with some of them things? Eh? Yeah, because you do have some inconsistencies that I don't agree with, but there are some inconsistencies that I agree with, right? And the example we use is if me and my woman lay down in our bed, right? And we hear some noise that it's me must get up all the time, go check it out. Right? I don't want somebody go say, oh, you're being inconsistent. Why are you the man always have to go? You know, can't make the woman get up sometime. No, me are the protector. Now, do I want her to defend me if something happen? Yeah. If a guy a rush me and whatever, me a fight him off and you can't rass him in the head, you clot out thing, what's it now? Yeah. But when certain things come up, when for safety, my woman or my family or my loved ones or whatever, and me a step out there because me want to step out there because that is primarily or sometimes solely my responsibility. So yes, there's an inconsistency there because you don't want the woman do it. No, me don't want she do it. Make me go do it. Me will deal with it. And when me need her help to do something, I go tell her whatever. Right? Now there may be some other things now where a she me for do it and a she primarily for do that something there. You understand? So some inconsistencies are accepted. So me say, well, I don't know you and thing, and well, you know who me, but I don't know you. But I just want say, you know, usually when people approach me and thing, I may mention it and talk, but if I know the person, I'm not gonna call them name or anything, right? So you just talk to me as I know about this thing or whatever. But I just want, are you okay with me? I discuss it on there. And him say, yeah, no, man, you can't talk about it, whatever. But that was a precursor, for me. Kind So I say, yeah, cause you don't know confidentiality and thing. He said, if I didn't know you, I just want you to know some won't even call your name or nothing, and whatever. Now, for those of you listening me for a while, you know that I have some rhetorical conventions, some little tricks in my little book and thing, right? And so I use one of them. Sometimes like me, I talk to a caller and them I go on and I go on. I will say something to them as if say, oh, we have already reached an understanding that you did this. But then we never reach an understanding there, and me just say it away there, And very often when the conversation are flow and whatever, then we just say, yeah, whatever, and then we respond in a way we say, yeah, them really do it, but them never really say them do it, but them respond and admit to them do it. And don't even know so them admit to them do it, right? So we kind of set him up with that now if we say, boom. Yeah, I mean, what your name? I not call your name or nothing or whatever. Right? Here comes the trick. So, given that your woman know wear your underwear and you wear fear underwear, but how somebody else can find out that now and think you shouldn't go tell nobody, man. That keep that confidential. And him say, no, nobody no find out and thing and whatever. I just I think about it and I say it's inconsistent and whatever. So I say, yeah, my boss, man. And I don't know if you go tell nobody do, I make nobody know say, you're come I always I put the woman in the first. So me I say, no make nobody know say your woman wear your underwear and you wear fiana and because and everybody I got to understand them something. They never go and judge you and them thing there whatever. And him say, oh yeah, me not really tell nobody I think and whatever. I know him not say him do it, but if I know him end up I say him do it. And then him say, Yeah, but woman no know some do it doing. I say, who remember one big mix up with when we did that nationwide, man. With I think I the woman Carleen and she not a problem with her husband and we were under. Anyway, me I remember that mix up there. I think cause up to that point, me kind of pick up say something the way him feel strong, but me feel that's something him do, you know. But up to that point, me think that's something where him and him woman know, but then him go say him woman don't know, say him do it. So now me I maintain the confidentiality thing there with him enough and say, come on, him feel safe, right? When people feel safe, them free up, right? When people feel safe, them free up, right? Like when you juggle with a woman and you want her to do certain things or whatever, don't rush her to do it. You have to make she feel safe first, right? We can't tell them, look at you, I don't care about a woman, right? Safety is important for women, right? If a woman feels safe with you, she will do anything with you. You will get her to do anything from she feels safe and secure. And you must be sincere. You must be sincere about your safety too, right? You must protect her. Right? To not always hear me say, no care who me involved with. My role is I'll protect you, you protect me. Once me see you not protect me, you could have pretty like gold I got me I cut you off. So when me and you argue and a cuss or whatever, or some difference come up or we are broke up or whatever, me if you know so there are certain things what it got on between me and you that will never leave me. I may expect the same from you. So you have to be sincere about your safety too. Some of us are set him enough to make him feel safe or whatever. Me I say, dog, him, you're not afraid to catch her one day and all him something. And him say, I want to tell her. So I say, if you tell her oh you think she gonna take him, say, no, I don't think she gonna like it still, you know. And I say, she one of them woman that you know, no, him said, no. I say she like she gonna think certain things about me and things. So I say, all right, so well, you don't know what the stakes are, you know. So I not judge him, you know. Me read no for real, me never judge him. I mean I want to say nothing to make him think say me I judge him. But again, me I focus on keeping him, make him know say, you talk to me, you safe. Cause don't give me permission to say me can't reason about it. But I don't know him at the first me see him or whatever and thing like. And I'm for real, even if me know him, name, I call him name or whatever, you know. And I say, oh, yeah, but you know, well, you know, and your business, if you know what you do still, you know, and whatever. But you know, what I think more I think about is that if you say she not gonna like it for women, them thing there, you know, if she buck up on that with you, it's gonna really crush her, you know. It's gonna really hard on her. And he must say, what you mean? Well, I'm not telling it's not a big deal. I say it's not a big deal to you because you enjoy. But when woman there with a man, a heterosexual woman there with a man, she have some idea to say she respect that man yeah, that she go there with a man yeah, and open her leg and let in a man yeah, for go inside her. Them thing they important for woman. And the way a woman think, you know, when them really into a man, that man is an extension of themselves. You know, a lot of people they define love that way. So the fact that she is with you, this is a bigger thing for women. You know, we men, we can do certain things and call it up, see, but for women more so than men, when them involved with a man, is like that man is an extension of themselves. So you find, say, if a woman find out them something about a man, it can be it's an indictment against herself, and it kind of confuse her. If I said, then oh, me never see this. What kind of man this me go pick up with? And me can't believe me go lie down with that man. I open up my leg, and it can be like a seriously devastating psychological issue for her because she gonna assume say you're gay, so you have some gay tendency and whatever. And if you are the type of man where you was a man's man, run her and a put it on pan her and a good provider, a good defender and all them something, that she got confused because she got remember all them something like, but you were like the perfect man now, you were like a good man then. oh, you come for wear drawers. But never say drawers, and thing like that. So I say, you have to think about that still, And to his credit, him I like, yeah, I really love her. And I say, yeah, man, I tell you if you do still, man, I say, you don't know, it go every day a bucket go well one day the bottom and drop out, One day she could have come home and see you in her underwear and thing and whatever, and that'll be devastating. Right? So I tell him what him for do, And him, and at the end him say, so I don't need for do it, me enjoy it, but me no need for do it. And thing, so, so respect him. We boom face and thing. Who remember the other mix up to where the woman, she did broke up with a man down at Jamaica and she used to travel, She travel, come up and must go Atlanta or whatever. But when she broke up with the man I say miss her. And in order, the way he miss her and thing, him say him just put her in her underwear them more time. You remember that mix up they talk? Yeah. Anyway, me see what I say. No, Richie, me never ask him if I G-string. Me never. Me never ask him for G-string, and to be honest with him, me never want to, if any him did go on certain way, me would even continue the conversation, but me never really ask him about them something there, Me no want to know. Me no want to know. The Nairan said this need Biggie. Hey, yo, people Biggie up here, Yeah, man, I'm Biggie talk, man. Biggie up here, man. Biggie up here and certain thing and certain thing. Me not put our business out there, But Biggie up here, man, and thing and Biggie doing well, Biggie there, Let me see. Yeah, Chucky, shall big up yourself, Craig Tan large up. Okay. Christine, I wonder which one type of her panty put on and like for wear. I hope the full cotton one them. Bikini. And a G. No, Fritz, a Raga answer CBS. What me even know? I'm not ask him them something there. Sometimes I can't bother with Richie, Ja, no. Sometimes I can't bother with Richie, man. Richie say, imagine a man a tie up him body with him woman gist. Yeah, man, but no, for them look at something that go on out a road them and people do them thing and different things turn on people and whatever. And I want to tell you, say, social media, some things will come out on social media. So I don't know them long time, but like some people that get comfortable. You know, see the woman who them lock up, I must have down in Florida and whatever, have a little dog a grind her. Good looking girl too. Yeah. And the police, them, you see that video there. I think the one that they go viral. It's like some cash always I do a little thing online, people do them thing online, them business and whatever, and some people just pose or whatever. So she do her thing, and apparently one of them must say, like them would say, yo, would I get $500 if you make FIFA jump up in the something or whatever. And she got through with it. And must get the person. I don't know where it go. Who see it? Let me see something. Well, Lord, say, some drama, this, You can't imagine him a play loud music and a dance. Bend over, bend over, bend over. In a G string with him balls a swing. So cry. Yo! Kill the visual. Kill the visual. All right. Nablet, you know, see that video. Who see the video when me a talk about? Nablet, me surprised, you know. Raga, them have a website /porn specifically for that action she did. Who see the video when me a talk about the police lock up? Good looking girl, you know. You know, she put on her makeup her thing up, you know. And them something there and whatever she do her social media thing and whatever. And apparently I was a little dog and I don't know what she do to her because me say the dog, me don't know. Them say the dog, I know I'm big dog, you know, and whatever. And she send the video to the person who asked her to do it for $500 on social media. Ellie say I heard it on the Burger Man show. Yeah, them thing like them something that go a long time, you know. Women are sleep with dog long time and hours. Long time, right? Yeah, woman would take hours. You remember that woman from Russia, like, you know, one of them Tsar family. I think she was like Catherine the Great or something like that. So woman I do them thing with dogs from long time. Some people just like get bull on social media, you know, and I go on with something, man. Oh, Christina says she live at Fort Myers, yeah, Florida. And she's only 20. Young girl, young girl, young girl. Yeah, man, the police them lock her up, man, and all these things and whatever. You know, what I wonder with them something that sometime though, like, if you really pay attention to them, it's like the law make for any animal, you know, but it's mostly, I don't know, they're mostly dog people in name them, dog, cat too, I don't know. But no, I'm not gonna say that. Kill the visual. Lois and Messit Raga, I think it's with a Chihuahua. Yeah, I heard it was with a small dog. I didn't see the video, but me see when she get arrested, right? Naran says someone showed me the video over here in the UK. It was a short little dog. She was lying down on the sofa. Oh Jesus, I think. No, but me I say when people that get comfortable and do some crazy thing online, you know. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, if anybody are calling for say anything, call in now. All right? Cause my board for Lego, you know, and we have some work for go do. For my clients, of course. You know, some of try. Ah, da, 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 dee, da, 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 da. Yes, I. All right. All right, people, big up on yourself. I'm back in the place. Yeah. And again, I want to thank the folks who came on the Tam Fam Ghana Learncation, the Ragashanti Ghana Learncation. This group was called Ghana 2. So big up Ghana 1 and big up Ghana 2. Do you remember we have another scheduled trip for August? All right. We have a trip scheduled for August. See how that go and thing. And we still a pre-Thailand down in a November. Yeah. Seeing? Yo, I love Thailand, man, just for the food and the beach. Thailand have like awesome beaches and some really nice food, man. I go back to Thailand just for the food. Just for food. Then K Edwards. Raga, how are you? I'm good, K. Ellie says I'm planning for December in Ghana. Yo, I heard that December in Ghana is off the chain. Like it's like it's like a big thing for celebrities now too, like US celebrities, like good celebrities. We're not talking pian celebrities. Um Jamaicans with those with the double word, good pian. Uh yeah, but it's a non-stop party. That's what it is. It's like a vibe. Non-stop partying, like non-stop. Then party right through the night. And then, like the Jamaican something that we used to do a pasa. And then it's to go eat in the morning. Cause the party go right through and then you eat. And you get like probably you're lucky if you get like a couple hours sleep and you get up back again and you're gone to all these events. And even when I was there, like there are people like, yo, you need to come here in December or whatever. I don't, I'm not so sure I want to do that. No, I am. Uh, people for a long time, we tell people say, I am cool with me, but if you really know me, you'd probably think I'm boring, right? But that sentiment and that type of posture and mentality is even stronger now for me. I am more mellow now. I don't mind. I like gathering. I like hang out with people and you beat a Guinness and you chat and a laugh or whatever. I had a couple of those when I was in Africa. I was in Ghana recently and they were like really cool. But like them something there. You go and look a party and thing and whatever. But I'm still young. I'm still young. Yeah, being a late 50s, but um I consider myself still young, right? So I still think young, in a way where like, man, I look old man where I go each up in a corner and I'm not that guy. But at the same time, nor do I want to be like I get up on a party every night. I can't manage that something. The party every night and you bleach every night and whatever. I make me keep it real. Anybody in my age group can tell when people get older. You see, when we're young and we bleach, next day we look the same. You see, when you're in my age group, you see we bleach one night, it's sure power quick, right? And when you're okay and you're up, your fears, it's sure power quick. Anybody over 45 can tell you that. And if them tell you, say, nothing no go so, yeah, you have some people, genetics and thing, change. But in general, broadly speaking, anybody over 45 or mid 40s or go up over 50, them will tell you, man, them it's not the same when you used to bleach before. You bleach a one night or a two night, I think I you mash up worse, used to it. But then I tell you just show up on you and think or whatever. And men get away with that more than women because society values woman appearance more than men. They value men too, but they value women's physical appearance more than men. So that reach so when you reach our age group, we don't really want to bleach every night thing and pop down something there. I know how I think that. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Ellie says she in her 30s and she can't bother with the bag of knives anymore. See that? Um, me know, and then even me them run it, my love for like observe. Yeah, like it's like people that know them Afro dance and them something there, and me's a culture man. So me we I watch a crowd a move and me I see things where the average person will see. and I enjoy doing that. I'm trained for that. And I went and got training for that because I love that. So me, I watch cultural patterns and conduct, and I notice things, and I listen what I say, and I read codes in movement codes, body language that are culturally determined and thing. I enjoy stuff like that. I go to Ghana, I'm seeing, unique Ghanaian movements, but then you can see some cultural parallels with what we do in Jamaica. And then look at something there, and you see how Jamaican popular dancing change. I know it has adopted more of what is presently prevailing in Africa. South Africa is big on dancing, Ghana, Nigeria, the same, and thing like that. And I enjoy observing stuff like that, but I don't necessarily want to be in it. Yeah, I mean, I like nobody for nice either. You see the case, I am 49, and then if I go party and the next day, if I party to the next day, I mash up bad, but yeah, something there, man, or whatever. I mean, you said that going in a Ghana in a December, like non-stop. That is the appeal, right? Non-stop partying. All right. Um, Nyron said, I was listening to some of the old classic yesterday at a gathering in Wolverhampton with some Jamaicans and Ghanaian. Nice. Rummy, and big up yourself. Kirk Banton. Biggie always saying, Raga after every sentence. Yeah, that was biggest thing for real, don't? Yeah. Anyway, people, big up on yourself and sitting there, right? Have a wonderful weekend. Y'all be good now. Take care of you and yours. I am back now, so we're gonna have more shows and things like that. And today was just my comeback show. And as usual, I think some of that will come in for like half or 40 minutes. We're approaching 2 hours. No surprise there. All right. What happened to Lady Ann? She debout, man. Lady Ann still debout. She's right here in New York City. All right. Um, Let me see if any other question there. I'm a Lady and good man. She about. Yes. Craig Tan said little more. Spoken like a true Jamaican. Little more. As if a little more for true, though. Okay. Wow, somebody go on Alkaline show and say it was 4 out of 10. Oh, God, boy. Say Alki was 4 out of 10. Mm. Mm. Want you to review on the dancehall movement happening with visa being reinstated and the next line. Well, yeah, I'm a glad of Buju Banton come out and say unity. Him go cartel show down at Barclays and say unity. I love that. People, let me tell you something, he's a loyal man, so if you're dead for me, I'm dead for you. And when me did that do my show them and thing, man, I like Moses support my show them, man. Be the man, big up yourself, support my show them. But is it that thing that being been a try George Cartel, man, and getting a drama about who are the king of dance and but think being if a Lego that. So I'm glad him Lego it. And the reason why I'm let it go is Cartel never answer him. I follow it up. But him still I do some little something where being need to be careful, because people are more educated and more. I find that in general, increasingly, people are more analytical and more in depth, with their analyses of others. So people will hear you say something and we know and we hear what you say, but then can reason it down more now and say, oh, this a go on with you, or that a go on with you, and that a go on with you. And I see a lot of people doing that with Beanie Man. Beanie Man has some sort of discomfort with cartel success, you know. And if you talk to Beanie Man, he might say, no, nothing no go so, nothing no go so, nothing no go so. But since cartel come out, and it have a lot to do with him being that he was incarcerated or whatever, but that not have nothing to do with the fact that whatever you may think of him, he's incredibly talented, and I don't think it's an exaggeration to say Cartel is perhaps the greatest lyricist dancehall has ever seen. Right? He's very talented in that sense or whatever. So, and he has an amazing catalog. Right? In fact, if if artists were to go on stage and just sing their hits, and no Beenie Man wouldn't agree with this, but I think Cartel would exceed Beenie Man. And has Cartel has you know been in the public eye and getting a lot of attention and so forth. Beanie has found it necessary to keep making little jabs at Cartel. And then he was on this thing about who are the king of dancehall and him depend that for a while. And him keep on to make these posts, and doing all these things that, it's just to a lot of people, like I said, people are thinking it deeper, and people is like, what's going on with Beanie Man? I mean, it's like him just see cartel out there and him just feel like same need for focus on cartel and what go on with him? Like there is some sort of insecurity there. And cartel have this thing about, it a tape, Gaza no rape. What is under my nose? And them so Beanie Man have a show come up at UBS now here in New York. It's a big venue that you know um a lot of dancehall promoters are using now. And him come out and it's like say it like he come out like him a congratulate Cartel for the back to back sold out at Barclays. And then in a way, him a promote theme show where I come up and I say, and me alone I gonna perform, nobody nah, whatever. So the way people interpret it like him a true word pan cartel, like I say, yo, look how much people cartel bring on stage and whatever and thing like that. No, him never did have to say that. clearly the people them a come on stage, party if you show him respect and whatever and thing like that and give him some support and whatever. You understand? So, it come over like you must say, yeah, say cartel, you know, bring on a whole heap of other people, and that's why him sell out the two Barclays, the two night back to back Barclays, which is nonsense, right? Because if you just go by cartel catalog alone, I don't even think cartel can sing up all him sang them. If him don't repeat the song them from even from one night to the next night, me still not think Cartel could have done all that. A whole heap of tune Cartel have, Yo, one night time in Jamaica, you say, yo, which cartel you love? You love black cartel or white cartel? Yeah, that was it, right? Because you remember when black cartel, you never call can I, this and that and whatever, sweet to the belly, and all them tune and whatever, which is a different tune from, what we used to call white cartel. I know, a different cartel have a whole heap of tune. And not only that, you have to, yeah, him use the tracks and whatever. Yo, the man sick. The man have Graves' disease or a serious, serious disease. It wear you down. And for him go out there and perform them way there, whatever, and still have the attitude and whatever, this and that. That's commendable, right? And yeah, me see it sometime you can't see, say, the sickness I take a toll upon him when him up there, because, him not the cartel we know before. So he's a 49-year-old, I think that's his age. He's a 49-year-old man with Graves' disease who was in prison for 13 years and whatever. So his body and thing is now whatever, and him go out there and him works him. I think we should just, you know, commend him for that. Say him go out there and make it up, right? And right now he's all about his family and thing like that and whatever. And I'm gonna make a video upon this too, because I have some things to say, but just briefly, when him start show sign for say him dep on a different track and whatever, my thing was make me wait and watch and see. Yeah. But he has been pretty consistent. He has been pretty consistent about being positive. And me respect a man who I take care of him family. Yeah, me respect a man who I take care of people who are depend on him. Yeah. So I love what him a do, and I love how him a take care of him mother and all them something there. Yo, when the man in a prison, and the man a run the place and prison, and a feed him family from prison. People, what kind of mind that take, a mentality that take or whatever. So there's a lot of things about cartel that I disagree with and whatever, but I'm really impressed with, what he's doing now. And I'm not excusing some of the things that him do, and I'm certainly not being insensitive to people who would say that they have just reason, to not like cartel ever, right? And I think cartel would be the first to understand that based on, how him used to roll before. But don't we always say we want people to stop the certain things and change? Now that we said, no. That was how with the man them would have stopped the so and so and whatever. So when them do that, we need to support them. We need to support them when them change. When people are saying them a change and I go up and whatever, we need to support them. So I like what he's doing, and even more so, I like the example that it's setting to others. Cartel is all about family and business and fun and positivity and whatever, and him and do him thing right. Is he an angel? No. Will he be an angel for the rest of his life? No, I guess not. But are there credible signs that he's trying to make an adjustment for the better? Yes. And that also has the potential to be influential to many of our young people out there who look up to him and seek to emulate him. So if he's setting a model now of how it's supposed to be, hard work, make your music, respect your family, take care of your kids, Even that look saying, I like that him have that look saying. It a tape, Gaza and rape. I like it. Come on, not for rape. We have a rape problem in Jamaica, right? So when you see me and the man I do them look something, people them, them are uplift, them are, try to be a positive and thing like that. And Moses just a snipe at him, snipe. So Moses a promote him thing, right? So give the cartel have a thing. It a tape, guys, and Moses have a thing, and him say it a stream, something. Yeah, and again, right? Me do have a full disclosure. I am about being loyal. And being a man was very supportive of me when me I build my thing at Jamaica, my mix up and blend. I show them when people are fight against me or whatever. Being a man. And yeah, me look out for him to come me promote him thing or whatever. But yeah, man, Moses we kind of low cartel, man. You do your thing or whatever, and just focus on sell your ticket, them and thing. Yeah. Ellis said him moving to Florida now. No, man, he moved there already, man. I said the man I show him big house and thing and pool and kind of sit now. Man, buy him house already. Yeah. Uh, yo, if I was a promoter, I would if I was his manager, he was cartel manager, I would say write out this post incarceration thing first, right? Pour the world with this post incarceration thing first. Make them make money, make money, make money. Then after that done, do a Gaza Gully tour. Boom, boom. That would have turn over the place, The Imam Movado. Listen, the worst business thing them could have do right now. I met the two of them go up on stage now. No, no. If I was a busy man, I'd be like, no. When I tell Sadija, no. You and Movado not for dip on stage now. Make a package that later. Ride out this thing, this you just come and road something, and people are still alive and thing. Shell it out first. The man not touch Europe yet. The man not touch Africa yet and whatever. Right? I'm in love with him a pace himself. So you do this weekend and next weekend. No, him no need for do that. A big money thing him depend right now, whatever. Ride out the part the first. See? And then now, after you right, cause the part it will reach a point where it peak, where it's like, okay, everybody see man and see the show and whatever. Right? I just saw the business set. And then after that, circle out and balance out now. You go so boom. And say, you know what? At the Gully Gaza Unification Tour. Yo, that would have sick. You understand, yeah? And relive the clash them and thing in a fun way and thing and make the Gully clan. Well, give it what me a talk about, probably not to use the word clan, but no me a talk about Spanish town. But make the goalie crew do them thing and Gaza crew do them thing and whatever. That would have sick, man. That would have sick, 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 sick. Yeah, we are at Del Marine Post. We met a young lady. She was from Nigeria and she ended up they run a group and thing when we were at the Kwame Crew in Mausoleum and also over at the Black Star Square. And she was all about cartel. She was all about cartel. I would there one place I buy shea butter and African clothes and whatever. And Del Marine say, you have to hear that man, yeah, man. And we go over to the man, I say, what I go on? The man say, yo, me a gallus, straight African man, say, man, gallus. Yeah, I say, where you hear that from? And him say, oh, Vibes Cartel. Even though the gallus thing was the phrase wasn't really a cartel thing, you know. Um, but yeah, like whether you like it or not, cartel is putting back dancehall to the fore on at scale, at a bigger scale, and we're seeing a resurgence of dancehall culture and music and money making here in the United States. We're at big venues and thing, you know. So, all right, make we see how that play out and thing. All right. Bless up on yourself, people. Cool. Good night. Mm, 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 mm.